Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's John Wilkins, Mr. Foundation, core coach. I'm here today with Jared Cofrancesco. He's a lineman at Pope John, and he's getting ready to play college football at
Tufts University.
Tufts. So, Jared, tell everybody here how long you've been training with me.
So I've been training with John since I was in third grade. I started with him over when he was at Titan, and then I've been going to him since throughout COVID and through the ups and downs. You know, we've been going hard at all times. So it's been really helping me with my football career.
Awesome. So tell everybody what school you play at and what position and all that stuff.
So yeah, I'm a senior at Pope John High School. I just finished my senior football season. I played. I started my freshman year at center for a game in a playoff game, so that was a good experience. And then sophomore year, I started at center for the whole year. And then junior year, my coach moved me to right tackle to help out the O-line because we needed like a good force on the outside to block the blind side. At the time, we had a left-handed quarterback. And then senior year, I was still at right tackle for a lefty quarterback. And then this year, we had a pretty good year. I made it to the state championship. It was a fun experience. So yeah, it was a great way.
Where was the state championship?
It was at MetLife when you played against DePaul Catholic.
All right,
So, yeah.
and that's for people. I mean, this goes out to everybody. So where's MetLife?
MetLife, that's in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's where the Giants and Jets play.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, what did you make this year? Did you make anything?
Yes. So this year I made a first team all conference. So we're in the Big North. So that's like Del Barton, Seton Hall, St. Joe's, St. Peter's, DePaul, you know, all those powerhouse teams. And I was first team all conference for offensive line. And I also made first team all county and first team all area.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited. That was one of my goals from last year because I made honorable mention last year, and that kind of got me, you know, motivated to work harder in the off season. And so I was glad to achieve that goal. So.
Now, what made you pick Tufts?
So yeah, I had a few options. I had 3 NESCAC offers, an RPI offer, and some looks from D1 schools. But ultimately, it was the academics. Tufts has a great academics, and they have a good field for my major, engineering. So after discussions with my family, I decided it's the best option for me. And they also have really good football. So, and especially now that they're eligible to be in the playoffs.
Nice.
Which is nice. So yeah, it was the best decision for me.
So I trained basically a whole family, right? So tell everybody when you started coming and what was the reason.
So when I was in middle school, actually no, before middle school, way before middle school, I was in like grammar school, and my dad and I were talking about, all right, so I'm playing tackle football. What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to make myself stronger and, you know, maybe play in high school? So that was the thought process at that time. So and my dad was looking into all these trainers. I tried a few different places, you know, none of it really worked out. And then my dad found John. So, and then I saw a picture of him, like, oh my God. And so, yeah, he's like, yep, you're going to start John. So I was like, okay. So I started in third grade, and then the whole purpose was to get stronger, faster, more powerful, more explosive for my sport. And obviously that worked out really well, and I've been going to him ever since.
Mm-hmm. Now, what is I have a couple questions here, but what is like the one thing you learned? Because we do functional training, right? We want to work from the inside out. What is like one of the things you've learned while you were here that, you know, I've been traveling all over the world actually this past year. Most people don't know that.
Yeah. So one of the main things I've learned from you is that during the tough workouts, you've been telling me throughout the years that it's not your body that's making you quit, it's your mind. It's all mental. That's what makes you want to stop or keep going. So that's what you really have to focus on if you want to train harder and become a better athlete and build up that stamina. It's your mentalness.
Yeah, the mental toughness. So we go through a whole series, and what we start with is your physical is going to wear out first, right?
Yeah.
No, your mental is going to wear out first, and then it's going to be your physical. And after your physical, you're going to be inspired, which means you're already done. But how am I going to be able to persevere, right? Resilience, things like that. Once that happens, we tap into that emotional, right? So in that emotional is you question yourself whether when you came to me, was that really a goal or not?
Yeah.
Or was it just something I said, you know?
Yeah. So definitely, I never thought of that before I came here. It was definitely what you put in my mind. And once you kick into that gear, when it's like once your body fails, then it's like, okay, how bad do you want this? Do you want to keep pushing, or do you want to just quit and give up? And that's what would translate to the football field. So whatever you do in here will translate to whatever you do on the field.
So how has the high plank walk? So we do a series of planks, and the plank position on a plank bar that I invented is called the finisher. So before the finisher, we used to do it on dumbbells, right? So there's a whole bunch of things wrong with dumbbells. One being that the dumbbell rolls, or if the dumbbell's too heavy, then you can't pick them up, and now we're injuring ourselves more than anything. So that plank bar is a fat grip, right? So building grip strength. Grip strength is direct correlation from grip strength to core strength. And 95% of the people don't know what their core is. They always point to their stomach.
Yeah.
But the core is actually from the top of your spine, the base of your skull, all the way through to your pelvic area. It's all the integral, small, internal muscles around your spine. That is the definition of the core. Now, all the muscles off of that, it's part of your core, but those are all your stabilizers. You know, your abs, your shoulders, pecs, back, you know, glutes and hips and transverse abdominals, the obliques and all that stuff. So we actually want to go into that core. We want to bridge the gap between how you play out there or everyday life, bringing that core with you to actually get stronger, more physical, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost like taking a Honda Civic and putting my Ram truck on top of it.
That
right?
won't work.
It could work. I mean, you could bolt it all together.
Yeah.
It'll work. It won't work good.
No.
And then at some point, you're going to get exposed. And that's
Yeah.
where the injuries come from, the lower back. I mean, we spend so much time on form, so much time on getting the abs, the muscles, the core, all your stability muscles to work instead of the lower back. And I'm constantly correcting you every single day anyway, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So in those positions, like we do in the gym, they have to translate on the field. So I got to be teaching you the same things, the same wording, the same terminology, everything. So when we do those high plank walks, getting back to that question, how is those high plank walks directly related to something on the football field that you're doing?
Yeah, so like you said, the high plank walks, they work your whole body. It starts with your grip strength with the fat grip bar, and it just works your whole core. So you could do a whole workout just of that, honestly. But the way that affects my field of play is that with the high plank walks, it builds stamina, and it's like constant. It's not like a one rep squat or like a 1 rep bench. It's not like, 1 rep you're done. It's like 4 quarters.
Yeah.
When you do the
Time
plank,
under tension.
Yes, time under tension. When you do the plank walks, it's a long period of time, just like a football game. You're not just one play done and then that's it. Especially if you're hurrying up offense. Like if I'm an offensive lineman, we're going hurry up, it's 2-minute drill. Like you're continuing to go. So it's the same thing there. So it gets you ready for that situation on the field.
Now, when you're on offense and you lock those arms out, that's the high plank.
Yes.
Right? So in that high plank, when I tell any of my clients or my athletes or even regular people, I say, I want your arms as strong as your legs. Imagine those big legs are the same strength as that upper body.
Yeah, that'd be really
Right?
helpful.
It'd be really helpful with that grip strength, right?
Yeah, you're right. So like when you're in the trenches, that extension, that punch is the plank jumps.
Yes.
And the plank walks.
Yes.
So-
And then your feet have to move, right? So that's
Yeah,
the dorsiflexion.
that's your dorsiflexion.
Right? So most people think that if they do a jump rope, that they can increase speed, right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually going up and down vertically, but yet I want to move forward. So when we're in that high plank walk, we're dorsiflexing.
Yeah.
That dorsiflexion is lengthening the calf, gastroc soleus, down to the heel. What the toe does is it's called toes to nose. And it's that toe going all the way to that shin, increasing that range of motion for push off.
Yeah.
So when people jump rope or do other things, jumping on boxes, that's actually not translating to on the field because we're not going to actually jump to block anybody.
Yeah.
But we are going to be in a forward position, moving more towards that plank, dorsiflexion pushing off. That's why what's happening is we're working with those high-level athletes in the the Olympic Training Center right now with helping those guys with push off in the 100 meters, the 400 meter, and all
Yeah,
of that stuff.
yeah.
Plus regular wrestling and Greco-Roman and stuff like that. And we just got back from them about 2 months ago, and now I'm monitoring their workouts each week.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I got a couple questions here.
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about what we talked about so far. We talked about your training regimen. Besides, we just can't plank walk, high plank, and all that stuff. We actually have to do mandatory lifts.
Yeah.
So what are the mandatory lifts in football?
Yeah, so in football, when I'm here, I come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. So Monday, it's a chest day. I start off with my bench, and it's not just 1 rep max. It's like I work up to my 1 rep, and then I do my drop sets. So how that works is like you pick a weight, you do 10 reps of that. There's no clips on the bar. Once you're done, you immediately take 1 plate off. You do another 10 reps, another plate off, and then you do 25. So
Right.
that's what burns out your chest and your right here. And then after that, we do all my pull downs. So it's chest, a little bit of back, and triceps. So that's what we do on Mondays. Tuesdays, it's the leg day. So we squat the same way we do the bench. We do work up to 1 rep max, then we do the drop sets.
Now, what kind of squat do we do?
We use the special bar.
Right.
It's like I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
It's much
Safety squat.
Safety
right?
bar. Yeah, that's like it's like heavier than a regular barbell, and it's used to make you go lower.
Right.
So
And closed chain, right? So your
Yeah.
hands are in like this instead of it on your
hands
back
are like
and your
this,
shoulders.
which is also what I'm like on the football field. I'm in here. I'm not out here on the football field.
Right.
So it also helps a lot. And when we do those, we go all the way down. And so after we do that, then we do our lunges. We do hamstring curls, all glute work. And then on Wednesdays, we do shoulders. So on the shrugs, we do farmer carries around the room with fat grips. And that's, that also trains
Yeah.
grip strength,
Right.
obviously.
Core
And then
and grip at the same time.
core and
Pulling
grip,
that
yeah.
stomach in, shoulder blades together.
how long can you hold heavy weight for a period of time?
Right.
And then after that, we do other shoulder stuff like we do shrugs, we do shoulder press, high reps. And then Thursdays, it's a deadlift day, so we do a bunch of back stuff. And then Saturdays, when we do the plank walks, plank jumps.
Yeah. And we try to
Finish
include some of that stuff in during your workout, like the wall balls, the
Yes,
single leg wall
yeah.
ball for grip strength and single leg.
Yeah.
Cross body, right?
Yeah.
We do stuff like that. But so when the mandatory lifts testing in football are the 5-10-5, right? The broad jump, the vertical jump, the bench press,
The 40.
the 40, and is there a squat in that one?
No, I don't think there's a squat.
All right. So way back in the day, you live on a farm. We used to get all these athletes like in Nebraska, Oklahoma, these big, huge, burly
Yeah.
linemen who were throwing hay bales more than lifting.
Yeah.
And now that there's less farms, we don't have as many of those athletes. But back in the day, I feel personally that we didn't have as many injuries as we have now
Yeah, I agree.
because everybody's in the gym lifting and everybody's doing hypertrophy
Yeah.
and everybody's doing show muscles.
Yeah, how much weight can you lift at one
Yeah.
time?
Yep.
That's exactly
I mean, they
right.
just had, I think they showed a clip the other day of Saquon Barkley, like his max squat and his deadlift and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he does do functional training too. He doesn't do a lot of core training, but he does a lot of functional training.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, okay, I made him stronger. He's a great athlete. I made him stronger. He's pretty fast, but is he durable?
Yeah.
Taking a hit after hit after hit after hit. And the biggest thing I can't stand is when they do a long run and they call a running back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm going, oh my God, he just gave somebody his rep.
Yeah, it's like, take me out, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So that's why I like my training, because that training builds the endurance.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in college, I had 44 handoffs in one game. I mean, it's a different game back
Yeah,
then, but
still, like, that's-
But still, 44 handoffs, and I was dead, and I still kept going. But I always did this stuff because I hated lifting.
Yeah.
So I always did pull-ups, push-ups, and things like
Moving
that.
your own body weight.
Yeah, stuff with my own body weight, or lightweighting and doing a lot of reps because
Yeah.
I just hated the bar on my neck. You know.
Yeah.
So another question is, what was your record this year when you went to playoffs?
So before we got to the playoffs, we were 2-6 or 2-7. So regular season wasn't that good. We had a gauntlet of a schedule. We played against the best teams in the state. Some of them
And some of them best
the country.
top teams in
Yeah.
the country.
So let me name a few of them. Or?
Yeah.
So we played Bergen Catholic. They were ranked like 15 in the country. DePaul Catholic, St. Joe's, Del Barton, St. Peter's, Paramus Catholic. Some of those teams we beat, obviously, but then, Bergen, Joe's, they were tough games. We kept it close with Joe's, but then, kind of pulled away.
Yeah, they got depth.
Yeah, they have depth. We
Yeah.
didn't have much depth.
Yeah. So how many kids in your team went Division One?
So on my team this year, 3 or 4 went Division One. Mm-hmm. And then
Any twos?
right now, I think 1 Division Two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many threes?
For football, I think I'm not going to miss somebody. I think just 2.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would one of the things that I always look at is from a team perspective and the workouts and all that stuff. Did you guys have like a lot of injuries this year?
Yes, we had a lot of injuries this year, especially during the middle of the season. And I think that's what contributed to us losing the games that we should have won. Mm-hmm. And that was very, obviously unfortunate, but we dealt with injuries this year a lot.
And are they severe injuries where it's going to take them a year, or are they going to be ready for like the next football season?
They're going to be ready for the next football season. Just like, injuries that maybe, I don't know, not like obviously career ending, just like, a few games. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Yeah. But. Awesome. So one of the questions I always ask athletes is, in your position, right, which was right offensive tackle, right? If you were playing in the NFL right now, who would you go against, and who do you think you can block?
In the NFL right
Yes.
now? All right, so
Or who would you like to experience?
who would I like to experience? All right, so as a right tackle, I mean, the league that I play in right now, I mean, it's pretty close to, power forward athletes, because, but I'd say, based off me, I prefer going against, a bigger D lineman than a speedy outside rusher, but I'd say someone like Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa.
And I don't think I could block him, though. No.
Would you like to try?
Yeah, I'd like to try. I'd just like to see how long I can hold it.
And what does he have that you picked him? Just because he's one of the best, or?
Well, yeah, he's on the edge, and he rushes the outside, usually the left side. So, I mean, and he's one of the best in the league, so I just thought of him.
Yeah. All right, so on defense, like you're playing defense now. You played some defense this year,
Yeah,
right?
I did, yeah.
Well, let's go back before I ask this question, because I'll ask the same question. On defense, like you didn't play defense all 4 years.
No.
You played it the last year. Mm-hmm. How was your stamina going both ways?
Yeah, so
Because we worked on that a lot.
yeah, we did. So this past off season with John, I worked on my, all we did was these plank walks, plank jumps, all this stuff, and that really helped my stamina. So this past year, I was on defense more often than I used to be, and obviously that helped me a lot. What I was doing with John, and in the state championship, I was started on defense. So
Yeah.
it was good because I was tired, but I was much less tired than I would have been without John. So going both ways really, it really helped. It helped my team obviously because we needed a D lineman, so I had to go in. But going with you and working out with you, doing the plank walks and plank jumps, that really trained me for because it's time over tension. That's the same thing on the field, doing both ways like that, and it really helped me be
So
successful.
the anaerobic threshold, right? So on my team, I have a functional neurologist. I have a couple chiropractors. I have about 5 physical therapists. We're in 14 physical therapy offices now across the country. and I have a orthopedic surgeon on my team, and I have a cardiologist. And one of the things I wanted to make sure was, with this bar and doing the things that we're doing, does it hit all aspects of fitness, right? So I went to the cardiologist. I said, hey, I'd love for you to be on our team. You have to explain to me anaerobically what is going on, right? So when I put him on the planks, he kind of took a knee afterwards and he's out of breath.
Yeah.
And he actually couldn't believe it because it's the same breathing as when he water skis or if he sprinted up a hill. So what we were trying to do with the high planks and the low planks and the plank jumps and all those things that we do, we're trying to increase your anaerobic threshold, which is the football game.
Like
But
your
most
stamina.
people, most people jog
Yeah.
and they jog and they jog and they jog, but it doesn't get them ready for that.
Yeah.
So that short burst, almost like a hit workout, is what you need to get ready for sports,
Yeah.
right? So in the fourth quarter, you've been there before because you trained it already. And the people that don't train it, they're the ones dying. So you're just beating them by default first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like the most impressive thing I see with the anaerobic threshold. So now when you're going back and forth, like you're playing both ways, when you're out there, so defense is a little different than offense,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, you're extending your dorsiflexion, your arms are
It's a
straight,
lot of the same
keeping
stuff, yeah.
same stuff,
Same
right?
stuff.
So how does the high plank, because we talk about the high plank a lot, how does that high plank help you on defense?
Yeah, so obviously when you get out of your stance on defense, you push off, and that's your dorsiflex on the plank walks and plank jumps. But on defense, I'd say it's even more important to extend because you got to get the blocker off of you. So that's what you do when you're doing the high plank walks and even the backwards ones. So
Right.
like that's another thing that correlates. And also, I'd say when you work a move like a swim or like a rip, you use more of your core, and like that's like what you do, especially when you're doing those ball bounces
Yeah.
on the things. You
Yeah.
use your core. You got to make sure it's tight and everything. So yeah, you use the exact same stuff as you do on as the O line, maybe even more.
Right. And then, so the question is, right, you're on defense. What offensive lineman do you feel that you have a shot against in the NFL?
I'd say current one.
Yeah. Or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like who, if I put you on the Eagles and you started on defense or you played on
Okay.
defense.
All right. I'd say my best shot would be against Cam Jurgens, the center.
All right.
Yeah. I think I'd say he's the weak link out of the O line on the Eagles, but it's also his first year playing center since Kelsey's gone.
Yeah.
So I'd
and
say
you have something to compare to.
yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
big time.
He's also the closest to my size.
Right.
Even though he's like 6'4", 300 pounds. I'd say him.
Yeah. My son played for the Eagles for a little bit, and he used to go against Kelsey all the time.
Oh.
And he used to bull rush him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going, Dad, I got past him. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's all pro. I don't know.
Yeah.
What about college?
College.
Oh, wait. NFL. You're going against
Cam Jurgens.
Cam Jurgens. What running back do you think you can tackle?
Probably like let me think.
Like he come through the hole and you got to hit him.
I'd say
Which one would you want to hit?
I would hit,
your best shot at taking him down.
definitely not one who's shifty like that.
Yeah.
I'd say someone who's like more of a downhill runner. I mean, I'd say like Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Even
How
though
big is he?
He's big. He's I don't know. He's like 220, 6'2", 6'1". Yes, I'm heavier than him. I'm like maybe same height as him, but
Right.
like,
He's all
NFL,
thighs.
NFL running back.
What's his 40, you know?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, because that's a big difference.
Yeah.
So, okay, out of every running back you played this year, who was the best running back you went against? The toughest, the strongest, harder to take down?
Okay. Besides running back on my team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say the running back from Paramus Catholic. He was a load. His name is Xavier Williams.
Okay.
He's
I was at that game.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a wrestler. He's a really good wrestler. He's going to Air Force
Okay.
to play football though.
All right.
Yeah, he was not the biggest. He was short and thick.
Yeah.
He was like downhill. He's gonna pound you all game.
Yeah.
He's gonna run. He's gonna hit the hole. He's gonna punish your defense. But
Uh-huh.
I've got the chance to try to tackle him. I did, but I feel like I'm speaking for the rest of my team. We felt it when he hit us.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He was tough.
Yeah.
He was definitely tough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so last question. It's still college football, right?
Yeah.
Who's we in the
State-
finals?
yeah, we're in the national championship. It's Notre Dame, Ohio State. It's my team, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is your team.
Yep.
All right. Who's gonna win?
So I watched the Texas game last night. Texas kept it close with Ohio State,
Okay.
especially late in the game, and then last like 5 minutes, Ohio State pulled away. But I think Texas shut down their best receiver.
Okay.
Their defense played good, and I think that if Notre Dame follows that same game plan, they can beat Ohio State.
All right.
Because I think Notre Dame has a better O-line. Notre Dame has a better overall defense, in my opinion, and they have a better quarterback and running back.
Okay.
So I think that formula is just running the ball.
Right.
So I think if we cover their receivers and we run the ball effectively, then Notre Dame can win.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
And then you're off to Tufts, right?
Yeah.
So what's your expectations for playing next year? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
so
think?
Obviously, my expectation is to start freshman year. They're returning 2 starters, and they've got, I'd say, 9 other guys that are like juniors coming up to being seniors on that team, along with 5 other linemen that they're bringing in with me. So I'm going to compete with all of them and compete with the upperclassmen. But I've been to a few of their games. I think my goal is to start, work my hardest during camp, prove myself, and see where that takes me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, it's been a pleasure training you. I got one more year, and then
Yep.
you'll just be home in the summers and stuff like that.
Yep.
And we're going to be ready. So we're doing all kinds of stuff right now to get you ready, get your mind
Yeah.
where it needs to be.
Definitely.
Harden that body up. I don't really foresee we need to put any more weight on, maybe like 5 or 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Tighten it up, stiffen it up, get yourself a little more agile, flexible, and increase your speed,
Yep. Definitely.
So that's what we're shooting for this year. And I always expect a lot from my clients anyway, and my
Yeah.
kids and all that stuff. So I'm expecting you to go over there and blow the doors off. The only thing is, like when I played football, no, it wasn't a matter of if you were actually better than the person, right? Physically, it was the playbook.
Yeah. We have
Like-
to learn the playbook.
Yeah. Like I ran faster than half the guys, even in the beginning.
Yeah.
I was more powerful. I just couldn't remember my plays.
Yeah, that's half the battle, just doing your job and knowing what to
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Because they got to trust you.
Yeah.
Right? And I come through the hole, I get, 10 yards on the carry. He gets 2 yards, but he did what he's supposed to do, and I didn't.
Yeah. Coach might choose him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. This is awesome. Well, hey, it was a pleasure having you on.
Pleasure being on here.
Yeah. We'll do some more because
Yeah.
obviously we'll follow up with how you're doing and progressing and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Does Tufts have a spring game?
So the NESCAC, they're going to start doing spring ball either this year or I think next year actually.
Okay.
2026 they're going to start doing spring ball because that's when they're going to start being in the playoffs too. So,
Oh, good. Excellent.
so they're
Excellent.
following whatever the Ivies do. So
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, hey,
yeah,
bro.
I'm excited. Thank you.
It's great training you. I appreciate it. Thanks for
Yep.
coming on my
Thanks
podcast.
for having me.
I mean, it's a pleasure. This is one of my good guys right here. He's really smart. Does well in school, not just on the football field. He's got a great family life. Anytime I ever needed him to help me move something or pick something up or put stuff down, he's
Yep.
here. We
Yep.
go fishing together,
Yep,
right?
yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to train you, serve you, and I got your little brher, I got your sister,
Yeah.
I got your mom.
You got the whole family.
Yeah, and they all work there. Your dad's not coming yet, but
No,
we
we're going to get
him.
him.
We
You're
got
going
to
to
get
get
him
him
in here.
here. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yep.